Hello! In this video, you will learn how to use the if statement in Java and compare primitives using it. First thing we're going to do is create a new Java class. So left click on the source folder, right click, new, Java class. We're going to call this class the if statement class. Great. So we always comment in class. We're gonna run this program when we're done with it, so we'll always need that static void main method. So we're gonna start there. String, open square bracket, close, args, and open curly brace, close. And we always comment and main method. So in this class, I'm going to create a integer value and then test whether that integer value is greater than or equal to another integer value. Alright, so we're going to create a new variable int cash on, lowercase letter, cash on hand, and we're going to say $100. Now this is called a local variable because this variable is declared inside of a method, especially this is the main method, and this variable will only be used within this main method. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to try and do we are going to do a if statement to compare this variable with another value. So we say if cash on hand is greater than 50. Open curly brace, close curly brace, and then we always comment and if. Then when this is called a Boolean condition, a Boolean comparison. So we're going to say that if cash on hand is greater than 50, we're going to do something within this set of curly braces here, this block of code. And you can do any number of things. We can do 0 things all the way up to any number of things that you want to in here. So in here, we're just going to print, go ahead and print the response. This is system.out.println. We've got cash. Okay, and we always terminate with a semicolon. So let's go ahead and look at see how this works here. We have a variable, a local variable declared cash on hand, assigned a value of $100 into it. Now we're going to ask ourselves, if cash on hand is greater than 50, this integer value, is it greater than 50? So this is a Boolean proposition here. This comparison will either end in a true or a false condition, or a Boolean condition. So because cash on hand has a value of 100, 100 is greater than 50. So this condition is true because 100 is greater than 50. So if that happens, then do everything that is in between these two, this set of brace right here, this open and close brace. It just happens that I only have one statement in here. So what is going to happen is, because cash on hand is greater than 50, it's going to run this statement. Okay, so let's see how that works. First of all, though, we're going to make sure that build.xml on line 27, remember, we have to customize it so that the JVM can find the main class. Today we're not running the Hello World program, so in the main class we have to find this and then modify that to the if statement class, and that will run the if statement class, or rather the main method in the if statement class. So that's done. So we come back over here, now we compile. That's great. Compile successful. That means that this is a good program. Now we run it. Now again, when we run the program, the CodeEnvy is going to package up this built program that was just built, and then compiled and built, and then send it over into the cloud and then execute it on a machine on there. So notice that the standard out, we've got cache. Terrific. Okay. So now let's look at what happens if cache on hand, we do that comparison. We make another comparison. Okay. Now we're going to say cache on hand still has a value of 100 assigned to it. Now we're going to say, is cache on hand greater than 100? Greater than 200? So now, is this a true or false condition? Is 100 greater than 200? No, the answer is no. So this now turns out to be a false Boolean condition. So that means that if this is false, now it's not going to execute this thing in here, because it will only execute what's in between these two curly braces if this condition turns out to be true, or evaluates out into be true. So now let's build this and execute it and see what happens. Again, built successful. That means the syntax and all the statements are correct. So now we're going to run it. So same as before, it's going to package it up, send it over into the cloud on CodeEnvy, and then execute the program on there and see what happens. Almost there, looks like. Great. Look at that. There's no output. Why is that? See, the thing is that if this turns out to be false and nothing, this in between the two curly braces are not executed, there is no other output. So nothing gets executed. What we can do is add something else. Add a else condition or an else branch on here. And then we say now let's look at this. If cache on hand is greater than 200, then it's going to do this stuff in between these two curly braces. But if this turns out to be false, then it's going to do this other thing. So if this is true, do this right here. Else, if it's not true, do what's in here. So let's see if that gets done over there. Let's build it. Now we're going to run it. Same as before, it's going to package it up. Go over in CodeEnvy is going to take the package, send it up into the cloud on one of the machines, set it up, and then execute it. Look at that. Now we've executed the else branch in that if statement. That's if then else with an integer.